August 17, 1887. In the small coastal town of St. Ann's Bay, Jamaica, a child was born who would one day inspire millions of black people across the globe. His name was Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Long before the speeches, before the parades, before Harlem knew his name, Marcus Garvey was simply a young black boy watching the world around him carefully. His father was a stonemason and book lover who owned a large personal library, something rare for a black family at that time. Young Marcus spent hours around books, history books, political writings, stories about power, nations, and identity. And even as a child, he noticed something painful. Black people everywhere seemed to suffer under the same system, whether in Jamaica, America, Africa, or the Caribbean. Poverty, colonialism, racism, and economic dependence followed black communities almost everywhere. That realization stayed with him. As a teenager, Garvey began working as a printer's apprentice, and the printing world changed his life because newspapers carried ideas, and Marcus Garvey quickly learned ideas could move people. He also witnessed labor strikes and harsh treatment toward black workers. He saw poor wages, economic exploitation, and systems designed to keep black labor cheap while others gained wealth. These experiences planted something powerful inside him. Garvey began believing that freedom without economic control was incomplete, and that belief would eventually become the foundation of his movement. As a young man, Marcus Garvey traveled throughout Central America and other parts of the Caribbean for work. And everywhere he went, he saw the same story. Black workers at the bottom, foreign powers at the top. The conditions changed, but the struggle looked familiar, and the more he traveled, the bigger his vision became. Marcus Garvey no longer wanted to think locally. He began thinking globally. He started asking questions few leaders at the time were asking. What if black people worldwide united economically? What if black communities built their own industries? What if black people controlled shipping, banks, factories, schools, and trade routes? What if black people stopped begging for inclusion and started building independent power? Those ideas would eventually explode into one of the largest black movements in history. In 1914, Marcus Garvey founded the Universal Negro Improvement Association, also known as the UNIA. Its message was simple, but revolutionary. Up, you mighty race, accomplish what you will. Garvey believed black people needed pride, ownership, discipline, organization, and unity, not just politically, economically, psychologically, spiritually. A few years later, Garvey moved to the United States. And when he arrived in Harlem, New York, everything changed, because Harlem during the early 1900s was becoming the center of black intellectual and cultural life in America. And Marcus Garvey's message spread like fire. Thousands began attending his speeches, then tens of thousands, then hundreds of thousands. Eventually, millions around the world connected themselves to the movement. At its height, the UNIA reportedly had divisions across the United States, the Caribbean, Latin America, and Africa. Black people marched through Harlem wearing uniforms. Bands played music through the streets. Massive parades filled New York City with red, black, and green banners. The movement looked powerful, organized, disciplined, proud. And for many black Americans living under segregation, Garvey's words felt electrifying. Because Marcus Garvey told black people something many had never heard before. You are not inferior. At a time when the world constantly attacked black identity, Garvey preached black beauty, black intelligence, black ownership, and black nationhood. He encouraged black families to start businesses, support black-owned institutions, control their communities, and build wealth collectively. But Marcus Garvey wasn't just talking. He attempted to build real infrastructure. One of his biggest projects became the Black Star Line, a black-owned shipping company created to promote trade and global connection between black communities around the world. The idea was massive. Garvey wanted black people involved in international commerce, imports, exports, transportation, global economics. He understood something many people still struggle to understand today. Who controls transportation, controls trade, and who controls trade, controls wealth. For many supporters, the Black Star Line represented hope, ownership, possibility. A future where black people could compete economically on a global scale, but powerful people were watching closely. because Marcus Garvey's rise frightened many institutions. A globally organized black movement with economic ambitions was viewed as dangerous. Government agencies monitored him. Media outlets criticized him. Political enemies attacked him constantly. And eventually, federal charges related to mail fraud connected to the Black Star Line were brought against him. Many historians still debate the fairness of the case today. Some believe Garvey was targeted specifically because his movement had become too influential. Others point to poor management and business failures inside the organization. But regardless of the controversy, the damage was enormous. Garvey was eventually imprisoned and later deported from the United States back to Jamaica. For many movements, that would have been the end. But Marcus Garvey's ideas survived far beyond him because his message traveled worldwide. His philosophy would later influence Malcolm X, Kwame Nkrumah, the Nation of Islam, Pan-African movements, black nationalist organizations, and generations of black leaders searching for economic independence and identity. Even today, many of the conversations happening about black economics, ownership group economics, and global black unity can trace roots back to Marcus Garvey, because Garvey understood something deeply important. A people without economic power become dependent on those who control resources, and a people without identity become vulnerable to manipulation. Marcus Garvey wanted black people to think bigger, to stop seeing themselves only through the eyes of oppression, and instead see themselves as builders, owners, leaders, creators, a global people capable of greatness. His movement was not perfect. His businesses faced struggles. His leadership faced criticism. But one thing cannot be denied. Marcus Garvey awakened millions. He restored pride to people who had been taught shame. He planted seeds of black consciousness across the world. And he reminded generations that power is not simply given. It must be organized, built, protected, and believed in first. Because before hashtags, before viral movements, before social media, Marcus Garvey had already built one of the most powerful black movements the world had ever seen. And his voice still echoes today.